I recently made a video about Pako Highway because it released lately and I said it was one new game, but I went to the Play Store and saw that it wasn't really just one new game. 3 main games have released quite a bunch of new Pako games. So you know what I did? I headed over to the Play Store and downloaded all the Pako games ever made. Pako Car Chase Simulator. This is the first Pako game that was ever released. As you can see, the graphics were not that much, the physics was also pretty basic, the car moves in an arc and is pretty easy to control. The physics is also noticeable as the car shifts weight on its 4 suspensions as you steer. One of the things I find very interesting about this game is the UI. It really speaks out retro and like a garage, almost like a heist plan. The music design is not bad. The thing that I found bad is that the fact that once your car touches anything at all, it's game over. For example, debris that are scattered over the map during a chase do not despawn and can get your car wrecked. Pretty basic, but I will rate this a 7 out of 10. This game can get repetitive very easily. Pako 2. This, in my opinion, is the best version of Pako ever released. The first reason, which is actually my overall point, is that the game is more realistic. This game totally nails the Pako thing. Retro design, retro music, explosive cop chases with lots of action. Pako 2 not only gets all these rights, but does that in a very subtle way. This game feels like it has been made just as it was meant to be. Some elements that I would like to mention here is that the game allows you to brake. No other Pako game allows you to do that, and that makes this game stand out. Some other things that you will notice while playing this game is that you can see the robbers getting into the car, and also that they peep out of the windows and shoot. This game also features a power-up system that gives you a power-up every time you deliver a group of robbers to their destination. This game also has an amazing chase camera view that you can unlock by purchasing a map or a car with in-game currency, of course, that you don't have to purchase with real money, which again you cannot see in any other game. The things that I do not like is the fact that a lot of times when you are playing in the top-down view, the pointers tell you to drive into the gorges, and since you almost cannot see what you're driving into, you will crash. There are also some random disturbances in the terrain that you cannot see, but they will randomly blast your car. These are the 2 factors that are holding the game back from a perfect 10 score. Also, the chase camera view I just talked about isn't really that well optimized for all the maps and all the cars. This game gets a solid 8 out of 10. Pako Forever. Another Pako game released in the same year. This one feels like a sequel to the first ever Pako game. The maps, beside a lot of other things, are very similar to the first Pako game. Now, since this is a reboot or a sequel, it packs in a bunch of new stuff. Discoveries, special power-ups, a variety of maps with cool variations. For example, this map is called Desert and it has some really cool add-ons to it. Stones, trees, missiles coming out of the ground and whatnot. It's crazy. There is a sandbox mode too, where the levels and cop cars keep on changing and the behavior of the cop cars change with the levels too. This is personally my favorite map. Another plus that this game has is that when you can't see what's in front of you, this game gives you a warning. Another huge highlight that I have to mention here is that you can play this game in both landscape and portrait mode. The downsides that I think this game has is the spaces are closed and you have to totally master the physics to escape tight situations. It is as if the game is asking you to be a pro at this. The lack of braking makes the situation even worse. I like playing Pako Forever. 7 out of 10 for this. Pako Caravan. What if the popular feature title Snake and Pako had a kid? Funny as it sounds, 3 main games actually made it happen with their 2020 Pako title. Pako Caravan. You race in a spot with pickups that add a trail to your car. Pretty basic Snake physics. You eat food and your trail, pun intended there, grows and keeps growing longer and longer. Once you hit your own tail, it's game over for you. Although this might look like the kids version of Pako game, a lot of people would call this an off track, but I think it is an off track, but it's not a failure. This game tries to take on a newer, calmer side of the chases and can be good for someone planning to unwind after a busy day at work. A lot of what makes a Pako game might be missing, but I think this game has its own upsides, like really smooth gameplay, a non-hectic approach that would satisfy any player who is willing to try it. And the design looks kinda cute too. Again, 7 out of 10. Hey, if you have come this far into the video, please consider subscribing if you enjoy content like this. Moving on to our next game, Pako 3. As we have already seen, 3 main games like to build up on their former games, and Pako 3 likewise is another sequel to the game Pako 2. The design is pretty and the vehicle variation is good too. This game tries to make some really good changes and a lot of people might like it, but they fell a bit short of my taste. They have added the ability to heal, where once you wreck cop cars that are chasing you, they drop some gears and wrenches which you can pick up to heal. Again, this game drowns in its own attempts. The world is huge and very detailed, but the depth is really hard to perceive, and I often found myself crashing into things I didn't know I'm running into. The game is mostly smooth and nice, but there are some modes that I haven't been able to play as the game keeps crashing. The game keeps crashing in general. Its optimization is, well, really bad. This is really annoying, as this has prevented me from even playing the game. 5 out of 10 for this one. It really requires a lot of work. Pako Highway. I have already made a video on this game, so I will try to keep it brief here. This game, like the Pako Caravan, takes on a slightly calmer side of chases. This game tries to transform the usual Pako feel into an endless runner style game. There are no cops chasing you, but you will run out of time and you have to keep hitting combos to extend the timer. The music design is based on a retro synthwave style. The game again has a bunch of changes from the classic Pako style of games, which some people might like, but having played the previous Pako games extensively, I'm not a fan of this one. One of the biggest elements of Pako games, that is the open world, is absent in this. There are also a bunch of things I love and hate about this that I have discussed in detail in my previous video, but respect to the devs for trying out something new with their game. 6 out of 10 for this Pako title. Tell me in the comments which game you like the most. That will be all for this video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.